viewers, my name is Fumi Falana. I'm here again this evening. I'm here to discuss the rights of women, your rights, my rights, under the laws of this country. And I am from Women Empowerment and Legal Aid. Remember, a non-governmental organization that defends and promotes the rights of women in Nigeria. This week, we will be looking at the rights of your children to education in Nigeria. And that is why I will implore you to please sit back and listen to this. It is very important to you fathers and to you mothers. I will be right back. Welcome back, viewers. I'm here this evening, like I said, we'll be looking at the right to education. The right to education is a right guaranteed to your children under the laws of this country. The Constitution of this country in Chapter 2 provides for the right to education. The Child Rights Act in Nigeria, as well as the child rights laws of different states, also provide for the right to education. Education is that will make your children to take their appropriate places in the society. Education is that will make your children to be what you want them to be. Education is that will make your children to be able to raise up their shoulders where others are raising them. Education is that will not allow the society to marginalize your children. Education is that will make your children to be fulfilled in life. Unfortunately, you watching me or listening to me may not have had the privilege of the Western education, but you must be determined, and you must determine right now. You must make up your mind right now that your own children will not lack this Western education. That you missed when you were growing up, your children must not miss it again. And so you must decide right now, after listening to me, to make sure that you train your children, you give them the best education that you can afford, and the best education that they are entitled to, because education is the best legacy that you can leave behind for your children. I will be right back. Welcome back, viewers. This evening we'll be discussing, like I said, we'll continue with our discussion on the right to education. Now, right to education is a right that every child is entitled to. And specifically, under the Child's Right Law, it is provided that every child shall be given a free education, free and compulsory education to at least the JSS. Therefore, it should not be an excuse that you do not have money. That is why you cannot send your children to school. At least to JSS 3, that is the first level of the junior secondary school, is free and must be free. That is what the law provided for. I have been informed, and I am surprised that some schools, some principals of schools, some headmasters, head teachers of schools are refusing to register children because they claim their fathers or their parents, their fathers specifically, did not pay developmental fee. It is not the law. No child shall be deprived of education, at least to junior secondary school, because of the inability or the refusal of the father. Because the right of the child does not depend on the right of the father or of the mother, of the parents. The child has his rights or her rights as an entity, as a citizen of Nigeria. And so his right or her right to education must therefore not be jeopardized because of the refusal of the father to pay tax. But I also want to sound a note of warning to our parents that please pay your tax. It is essential. It is necessary, because it is with this tax that the government will take care of the socioeconomic needs of the society. Good roads, tap water, clean environment, they are the things the government will use your tax for. But be that as it may, no school is allowed or can or must send a child out of school because the father did not pay tax or the developmental fee or whatever, any form of dues that they may have asked the parents to pay. Because what the law says is that education of the child shall be free and compulsory to at least junior secondary school. So it is an offense under the child's right law for a parent to keep the child at home. Unfortunately, most parents do not know this. It is an offense, and it is punishable by 6 months imprisonment if you are reported. And the bad thing is that people don't report such parents who keep their children at home. It is even unfortunate that some children, instead of allowing them to go to school, they are used to hawk during school hours. It is also an offense under the child's right law to compel your school-age child to go and hawk during school period. It is also an offense under the child's right law to use your child to go and beg for alms during school hours or any hour at all. It is an offense under the child's right law. If you are caught, you are also liable. If you are caught and you are found guilty, you are liable to 3 years imprisonment. The bad thing is that people they don't report parents who commit these atrocities. And I also want to believe that most parents did not know before today that such acts are illegal under the laws, that such acts can earn them prison terms, that such acts can send them to jail. Keeping your children away from school can send you to jail. So please send your children to school. Now, of recent, the Lagos State government have been mandated, specifically the Ministry of Women Affairs and Child's Welfare, they have been mandated to take a bus round the school to arrest children that are found washing windscreen, school-age children, cleaning windscreen at bus stops when they should be in classroom, or begging for alms when they should be in classroom, or hawking when they should be in the classroom. That is during school period. The officials of Lagos State government will move around. That is the law. If they have not been doing that, sometimes I took up the commissioner, and the commissioner said it's going to be done. So they are starting this. When I took it up with the commissioner promised me that it's going to be started. And they are starting this now. They will move around to arrest children who should be in school, but instead of being in school during school hours, they are hawking, or they are begging for alms, or they are cleaning windscreen. That is not where they are supposed to be. They are supposed to be in the classroom. And when these children are arrested, their parents will be prosecuted. So parents out there, please keep yourself within the laws of this country. Send your children to school. If you now find it difficult to keep your children in school because a school teacher has asked you to pay, and that if you do not pay, your children will not be allowed to remain in school, please report such principal, such head teacher to any non-governmental organization in your community. Speak out. Don't keep quiet. In the case of Serap and the president of Nigeria, the courts held in that case that the right to education, free and compulsory, to the level of junior secondary school, at least JSS, is guaranteed to a Nigerian child. And no Nigerian child must be deprived of this opportunity, of this right. And no child shall be sent out of school for the inability of their parents to pay, at least to junior secondary school. And like I often said, and people do not know, that there is also what we call the Education Trust Fund that is applicable. And people don't access this fund. This fund is where people can access fund, people who are in higher institutions and they are at the verge of dropping out, they can access loans from this fund. It is part of the funds the government is just keeping. Nobody is accessing it because most people do not know that there is what we call education trust fund. It is a fund meant to augment the education of the less privileged, at least in the higher institution. So nobody shall be sent or shall be deprived of education because of the inability to pay. It is absurd to hear that I did not go to school because my parents have no money. I did not go to secondary school at all because my parents could not afford it. Please, if you are undergoing this problem, speak out. Do not keep quiet, because it is your right to access education. Access to education is a right guaranteed to you under the Child Rights Act, as well as the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. And I want to remind you, parents there, as I'm rounding off now, I want to remind you, parents there, that if you keep your children out of school, you are going to be prosecuted, because it is against the law. And no child must be deprived of education because of lack of funds. And I want to please remind you again and again that the best thing you can give to your children is good education. It is the best legacy. It is that legacy that will make you happy even after you may have departed the present world. Please educate your children, especially your girl children. They are treasures. The girl child is not less important than the boy child. The girl child must be given the best education, just like her brother, because she can attain even higher level than her brother if she is given the opportunity. I want to wish you a wonderful evening once again, and I say please train your children, especially your girl children. Have a wonderful evening. God bless you.